Hi, I'm Brad White. I'm interviewing my good friend Robbie Gallo today. Robbie is the MC and front man of the San Diego hip-hop group Vocab Company. You might have heard of them. If you haven't by now, it's my belief that you will very soon. And before Robbie goes to become incredibly rich and famous, I wanted a few minutes of his time to learn from him what it means to become the kind of person that does what he does, and what that's like, and what it's all about, and what the rest of us might be able to learn from it. So, Robbie, thank you for your time today, and I got some questions I want to ask you.
Well, thank you for having me, Brad White. It's good to see you in San Diego.
So my first question, Robbie, to just kind of start at the beginning. You know, I knew you as a sales guy. You had a job. You worked with me. How did you go from that to this? How do you decide to take this kind of step? What goes into your thought process? You know, why did you choose to become a rapper?
I'm doing it because we love it. I love it. It's something that I've always been a writer, and I've always been pretty good at it. And so when you find a strength, you can either make it a hobby, or you can take it one step further and try to make success out of it. And I don't just mean success financially. I just mean like prove to yourself that you're good at this talent that was either given to you or you worked for. Either way, it's something that I love doing, and getting responses from not just parents and friends, or getting positive feedback from not just the people you hang around, but getting it from people that you respect and outside. It's a great feeling. So that's one reason why we keep doing it.
Did you ever enter into any kind of contests or competition or?
And one thing I guess early on, which was cool, was I used to do little freestyles at like the parties. I was that guy in Little Circle, which was great. And with that, I entered a freestyle battle when I was 18 years old, with a bunch of people from the surrounding Northern California area, and I ended up winning it. So that was a cool little motivation.
Very cool. So talk to me a little bit about the collaborative process of partnering up with these other guys. I mean, creating music, I would think it's very artistic and personal. So how do you then draw strength from a group and form a bunch of guys to get together to have one vision? How does that work?
As far as collaboration goes, I have a good friend who is also the other vocalist in Vocab Company. His name's Matt Burke, and him and I, we just feed well off one another. And I guess the only way I could kind of put it is, obviously we're not basketball superstars, but it's kind of like Dwayne Wade and LeBron James. They're both really good at what they do, and they're both a little different, but when they get together on the court, they just get each other excited. They feed off one another. They just get the ball moving, and Matt and I get the ball moving together, and I don't know, the rest is we just feed off one another. The rest is what you hear.
So give me a little idea about the creative process. How do you make beats? How do you decide what to sing about? How does that work?
As far as making beats, we're not necessarily the producers. We do help arrange, and we do give our input and insight, but I like to say I have a good sound or a good ear for music. So when I hear a beat, we'll work with a select couple of producers. We'll go through their catalog and we'll pick out the ones that we like, and then we'll usually add some live instrumentation to them. And then as far as the writing process goes, it's just really kind of what's on your mind at the time, and kind of picking at that and getting creative and thinking of maybe some outside of the box subject too. Whether it's about this Wild West, which is one of the songs on our new album called Gunslinger, which is kind of thinking outside the box, or just writing about love, which is always going to be an awesome subject when it comes to writing music. So that's it.
Vocab Company is a band that's trying to make it, and there's a lot of bands like that trying to make it. Tell me a little bit about the kind of inside perspective of how you market yourself, how you get noticed, how do you get gigs, what kind of work do you have to put in to make this happen to launch your career?
Well, I would look at it just like any business. You got, and I guess one of the coolest things is it's not the old format of music where people were making a lot of money off of album sales and the songs in general. It's, you got to kind of run your own show here, and the independent musician and the independent band I guess in my point of view, kind of have an advantage because I would have never learned about opening up an LLC or a general partnership or any of that stuff if it weren't for really getting out there and doing it ourselves. So in some ways, this learning process is so new, but it's awesome because we run our own business, and with that, we're just out there trying to be heard by using awesome online resources like Facebook, which didn't exist years ago, or at least didn't exist on the platform it's at now. So I think it's a little different. You're not getting signed and getting these huge bonuses right away, but if you work hard at it and you show that your business actually can bring in some capital, then eventually I think it'll all work out.
Now, I know you guys have a lot of fans. You got a good online community of fan base, but I'm sure you have critics too. As far as motivating you to move forward, are you motivated more by fans or by critics?
I would say fans keep you going and critics make you really want it and work for it, because people can give you compliments all the time and after a while it kind of becomes white noise. But if someone out there is saying this band sucks, and in fact we just had something recently happen where there's a venue in town that we've been wanting to play at, and for some reason the guy just doesn't give us the time of day, and we got like a little insight from a local radio DJ, and he said he just doesn't like you, and from that it just kind of burns a little bit inside, and you want to prove this person wrong and show them that you are good, and sometimes it just takes a while to earn those people's respect, and hopefully in the end you do.
So you guys have done a few albums already, but in a lot of sense, you're just kind of getting started. What's the future of Vocab Company? What's next for you guys? How do you plan to keep this thing moving forward?
So collectively as Vocab Company, we got 2 albums that we're real proud about. We got the New Kong, which is our previous one, and we got this new one we just put out, which is called Quit Sleep. And the title kind of just speaks for itself because of the amount of work that we put into this thing to make it happen. Berkey, Matt, he has a kid, he's got a wife, he's got a day job. Myself, I have a day job. And we all have our own lives, I guess, is a point, and we're really trying to make this work too, and this is like our passionate side of life. So we literally were quitting sleep in order to get this going. So now that the album's done, we're touring with it, and we're touring as much as we can, but we're an independent label, so one of the goals is to either work with a larger label that will help bring in some resources that we don't have available, or get with a booking agency and have them get us out there on the road playing music festivals. We're exposed to thousands of fans at one time, and they're coming from all over, and they're bringing your sound or buzzing about you as they go back home. So that's the goal, is either to get with a label so we can get some additional resources, or and get with a booking agency so we can start playing a lot of shows and hit this thing on the road and give it like a real shot.
Robbie, I appreciate the insight, man. I just want to say that I'm really proud of you personally and what you've accomplished thus far. I really honestly believe there are big things in the future for Vocab Company and for yourself. I think your hard work's going to pay off, and best of luck to you, man. I'm really pulling for you.
Well, thank you, Mr. White. I appreciate you bringing me in for this interview. You and I have been friends for a long time, and we got a nice little sales background together. I learned a lot from you, and in fact, you're a great mentor to me, work ethic wise. So I appreciate the compliments, and we hope that we're going to make this thing a nice big career that we can all live happily ever after with.
Well, thanks, man, and good.
And they ain't knowing, but I'm knowing that they wanna be just like this. I think she know me now. She know me. And you don't know me, but I bet you gon' be knowing me now. She don't know me like that. She know me. And now I'm knowing that I'm knowing. Thought you wanted me just like this. I thought you wanted me just like this. Grimy, that's how you find me. Where the sheets get sweaty, the blind be sight seen. Always on that green, jolly oxen, freaking till my eyes bleed. All bloody, memorize the book. Never had to study, never been a crook, but I stolen glitter and golden. Taken from the young and give it back to the olden. Yeah, no, she know me now. She got all fancy to see me. I guess we homies now. Yeah, she like the way my voice go. I told her la da 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 gotta hit the toy store, cause this is grown man hair up on my chest plate. I got no time for games, this is my workplace. That's when the earth shake, home court, whole state. We rally from the border to the Gold
And
Gate.
you don't know me, but I bet you gon' be knowing me now.
She don't know me like that, she know
And
me.
they ain't knowing, but I'm knowing that they wanna be just like this.
I think she know me now, she know me
And you
now.
don't know me, but I bet you gon' be knowing me now.
She don't know me like that, she know me.
And now I'm knowing that I'm knowing. Thought you wanted me just like this. I thought you wanted me just like this. Nah, I'm in everything, get it, the lateral takes flight.